We're halfway through the first week in the second lockdown in England. Is it different from the first one? And what do we think the people think about all of this? Interesting case. We'll have a look, and don't forget, it's not always the situation, but our perception on things and the outcome. So let's have a look. Welcome back to the Brac Shop, the portal to the paranormal, the spiritual, the unexplained, which I believe one day they'll all be revealed through quantum physics. So welcome back, and I'm Tom from the shop. Now we're halfway through the first week of lockdown here in England. Now we've been through it back in April, May, and it's slightly different. Shops are closed again, except for the essential shops. Some restaurants are open for takeaway, but apparently it's very much the same. But I think people's attitudes to it have changed a bit. In fact, at the beginning of lockdown, the first time, actually for a fellow YouTuber, I made a video for her because she was looking at what people were doing during the COVID lockdown. And this was last time. In fact, I'll put the link below if you want to have a look at the full footage of that and her other contributors as well. And it showed how we thought about the lockdown and what we were doing and what was happening. But this lockdown is slightly different, I feel. I feel people are still going on with their lives. People are going out. There seems to be more people on the streets, whether they're going to do their shopping. And shops aren't running out of things so much. Some shops are, I must say, like toilet paper. And there are other shops that still have food and toilet paper still available. Maybe the other shops were smaller and they ran out quicker. I'm not sure. But it's a different feel to the first lockdown. And I feel it's our perception on things. And it's part of manifesting, I believe. I mean, I made an episode earlier on during lockdown to see what did you think? Did we manifest it or not? Of course, we didn't manifest the virus, but the outcome. And the virus is just a situation to sort of trigger the outcome for some people. An example I put across before was the work from home situation. Now, a lot of people, and you can see it on YouTube a lot and a lot of other social platforms, the desire to have the laptop lifestyle, to work from home or anywhere, as long as you've got an internet connection, how great that would be. Have people been putting that out? And COVID has actually brought that into a lot of people. So many people are working from home. Call centers, a lot of the staff are actually working from home. And is this something that companies are going to implement later on after COVID has died out? Companies will save money on floor space, and the employees, the people working for them, working from home, will save money on transport and also the traveling time. Some people spend about an hour each way just in traveling and having to deal with the peak hour traffic. Now, this is all done away with because they can work from home. They've got that extra 2 hours to themselves if they spend an hour traveling each way, and more time with the family and with the kids, and they get to stay at home. And if they're working in a call center situation where people don't actually have to see them, well, they don't even have to dress up. So is it something that the world, well, a lot of people, I should say, have actually thought about the laptop lifestyle, like the idea, and would love to have done it? And this is what's happened. And this is just an example of many different situations that have happened. And that's why when things happen, which sometimes is not in the best interest of people, we shouldn't look at it like that. We should just look at the situation, because it's our perception in how we deal with it. Because it might be leading us to something that we desired. So many people have said, I got made redundant, I was fired, I was laid off, and it was the worst thing that could have happened to them. But you meet them like 3 months later and they say, I now have the perfect job. I'm so happy here. And I've heard that so many times. So in a way, the firing, the layoff, the redundancy was actually a blessing in disguise, pushing them in the direction that they really wanted, but didn't know how to go out and get it. Or one of those type of people that talk about it but never do it. And this was the push they needed. So it's an interesting way to look at these things. Some people may say it's coincidence. Some people might say it's subconscious manifesting. And that's a whole different topic, which I will get to in another episode. So what do you think? Now, I've included some footage that I took from the video I made for the YouTuber colleague of mine, and just to see what it was like back then. In fact, if you go to the original footage, I was actually in Lourdes in France at the time when the whole lockdown kicked off in France, and I've got footage of France, of Lourdes, and it does look like a ghost town. Mind you, it is a town and a smaller situation than big cities, but you can have a look at what Lourdes looks like during a lockdown. Also, there's footage of London around me during lockdown during the first time. And to compare the difference, I've included some footage I've just taken recently of what this lockdown is like, and we'll compare the footage. So here we go. Have a look at the footage and let's have a look and see what you think as well. Where I am in around Vauxhall, Stockwell area, if you know London, UK, it's like a quiet Sunday afternoon. There's still a bit traffic on the road. Shops are closed except for basically the major shops like the supermarkets, the chemist, hardware stores, and newsagents or tobacconists if you're in France. And here you can see the same location, but a lot more cars on the road and people walking around as well. Now, this was actually taken on a Saturday afternoon compared to the footage taken in April, which was actually taken on a Thursday afternoon. This is Sainsbury's, and you can see the queue going right down the road there. In fact, it goes right around the corner way into the car park. So I didn't bother going to that one. In fact, I ended up going to another one. But as you can see, the shops are all closed except for convenience stores, so to speak. So this one was a lot better. The queue was a lot less, so I was able to get a few things from there as well. Now you can see Sainsbury's, there's hardly any queue, but lots of, again, more people and cars on the road. And again, the smaller shops are closed. However, there was a longer queue outside of this shop though.
And inside, this is Sainsbury's. A few weeks ago, this is what it was like. There was empty shelves everywhere. All the fruit and vegetables were gone, pasta, rice, everything was sold out. Now it is a bit better because basically they've also got rationing as well.
And the bakery, we can see a lot more bread on the shelves. And here we've got fruit and vegetables still on the shelvings as well. And mind you, this footage taken like half an hour before the shop was going to close on a Saturday night. Well, what did you think? There's some comparisons and yet there's some slight differences, like more food on the shelves. Well, in this particular supermarket anyway. And masks. I've noticed some people are wearing masks and some people are not. Outside, people say it's, well, you're outside, so the germs are dispersed a lot quicker. But a lot of people are a bit reluctant still to wear masks. Now, we've seen in East Asian countries where they've had other outbreaks before, like the SARS outbreak and the swine flu, how they're wearing masks have kept the figures down. And again, at the moment, their figures have dropped a lot because they have been wearing masks. Now, in the Western world, a lot of people are not wanting to wear masks. They say it's their free right not to. But and it's also a bit political as well. But it's more than that. It's more of a responsibility and a hygiene safety implement here. It's to halt the spread of the virus. And as we've seen with the stats, in East Asia, the figures have dropped a lot from wearing the mask. So I think people should have a second thought about wearing masks for the time being, anyway. So, what are your thoughts about the second lockdown in England? Some of you may not have had a second lockdown as yet. We know in other countries they've gone through a second lockdown, especially Australia as well, but they're coming out of it. In fact, I believe they've come out of it already. So hopefully England will come out in early December and we'll be able to have a nice Christmas. And the rest of the Western world, I hope things will play out well and you won't need a second lockdown if you haven't had one as yet. And just play safe and let's hope the virus dies down. So write down your comments and see what you think. And as Marilyn Monroe said, turn a negative into a positive. So isn't that a bit like manifesting? Put it out there and see what happens. And it's usually when you forget about it, that's when it appears. And that is another episode as well, which I'm wanting to get into as well. So write your comments below. Let me know what you think. Like the video and share it. And get some, ask your friends what you think by sharing it as well and get their opinions. And as I've said before, if you haven't seen any of my videos before, please subscribe and click the bell, the notification button on the top, so you always get my videos when I release them. Because we would like to grow the channel and we'd like to keep you informed and see you as well. And follow us on our social platforms like Instagram and Facebook so you won't miss out. I'm hoping to grow this and make this a lot bigger. And that's my plan, and make it a community where you can all join in. And I look forward to it and get your opinion so we can be a community and see what you think about it all. So until then, stay safe, Be healthy and keep well and happy. Until then, see you soon.